This our land, our Zimbabwe. The song coming from Henry Olong, our famous black cricket player. Powerful words right there coming from Henry Olonga. Our Zimbabwe. It's not theirs, but it's our Zimbabwe. Greetings, good people. My name is DJ Holly, and welcome to Point Five Creative Studios. Chitubu cha content, chitubu chisingapwe, chitubu chinoniwa nemunhu wese, chitubu chakavhenekwa chikaongororwa nana mazvikokota kunzi aiwaka. Chitubu ichi chine content iri healthy, content iri clean, content yakachena, yakakodzera kunge chikonsumwa nemunhu akaita kunge iwewe. Ndosaka uri panapa muzuva ranhasi. So if it's your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any exciting content uploaded. Asikana wanga wagara uri mugari wepanapa ndangokutenda nekuti asai nekurumidza kubhadhara rent. Thank you very much for supporting Point 5 Creative Studios. Finally, I have managed to get hold of her, and she's here right now with me, and you all gonna see her, and we all gonna ask whatever questions that you want to ask. Feel free to ask, and let me know where you are watching from. And because this is the first time, it's a first time on this platform, and I'm joined in with my sister, Barrister Jojo, and we want to talk about the new Zimbabwe agenda. The new Zimbabwe agenda, the participation of females, of women in the political circles. What's her thought? Vanombozviona sei uyezve vanombofungawo sei? So let me know where you are watching from. Feel free to ask any question, and let's be respectful to our guests. And then sorry, we started a little bit late, but nyaya hombe ndeyekuti she's here and I'm here, and we are going to talk about zvinhu zvacho kuti zviri kufamba sei. My sister, how are you?
I'm okay.
Can you hear me properly?
I can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear me too.
No, I can hear you and I can see you live, and you are looking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Without wasting much of your time, I know you are very busy, and you are always busy, and you are someone that is not reachable easily. And we planned this interview, I think, past 2-3 weeks ago, and finally I have you right now. So without wasting much of your time, I just want you to introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners who are watching right now, and tell us, who are you, where are you coming from, and what's the role, what have you done, or what's your involvement in the political circles?
Thank you, DJ Wally. My name is Barrister Jojo. Joyce Marufu, to be precise. I've always been a business person, and politics is not my career, but I got involved in politics not more than 5 years ago. But just in the inception of my political career, I became the chairlady of Mashonaland West Province in the ruling party, to be precise. So from there, I didn't last long, not to talk of even finishing my term, because I couldn't resonate well with the principles that was in their particular party, as I just somebody who stand for what is right, stand for the truth. No matter how hateful it is, you just have to stand for what is right. I joined politics not because I wanted any position whatsoever, but people that were around me, people that were in the community that I stayed, are the very people that came into my premises and asked that I stand and represent them. And it is at that point that I got involved in politics. Although my father is a war veteran who always wanted me to get involved in ZANU PF politics, to be precise, but I never subscribed to, you know, the ZANU PF way of doing things.
mm,
But when my father died on his deathbed, he insisted that I must get involved in the doings and happenings in the country. I must get involved.
mm,
And by so doing, to me, I knew because the only party that my father would go and would know and would support was ZANU PF. Although I never supported any of that, but knowing that there was no party that I could think of, joining in the sense of getting involved in the day-to-day runnings of our nation, I had to join ZANU-PF, so my father can be happy, in his, just so I can fulfill his death promises that he wanted me to, his death wishes, sorry to say. So I'm not that person who joined politics because I needed to benefit something, because I had already made it in life. At the age of 18 years, I was already in the corporate world.
mm,
So I even bought my first house at the age of 21 years.
mm,
I'm somebody who had made it in life with or without politics. So politics didn't make me. So then I'm one person who stands for what is right. No matter it is gonna affect, certain individuals, I don't really care, because I've tried by all means to live, an honesty and sincere life.
mm.
So then I don't have to be, driving behind a certain political party for me to be who I am. I'm just who I am because I made it into life, because I have, worked hard to be who I am. So basically, that's Barrister Jojo for you.
Okay, thank you very much for that amazing introduction. Guys, if you have any questions that you feel you want to ask, feel free to ask the questions. You can drop your comment or your question on the super chat or top chat, and then I'll gladly ask our host, Comrade Barrister Jojo. So, as a female in the political circles, how do you see the political circle? Is it fair? Uh is it equal? Does it treat you females and males equally? And you being a female in the political circle, wanna say, how is it like?
Well, DJ Wally, it's not easy for a female to maneuver or to be a politician. It's not an easy goal. It is something that is very difficult. I must, be honest with you that whenever men feel intimidated by women, the only thing that comes in their way is they can call you, all sorts of names, abusive, sorry to say. But you just have to remain focused, because it is not what the people say that you are that made you, but it is what you give to the world that defines an individual, whether a man or woman. So to me, I can say I've managed uh, to navigate through politics and to rise above the challenges that politics brought into women because I'm one woman who is very principled, even at work. The same thing that you can get when you are in politics is the same thing that you can get when you are working in an environment where it is a male dominated field. The only thing that can make you to survive is when you are principled. A principled somebody cannot, you cannot have a lot of challenges that you cannot manage because the only challenge comes in when you let men and you let a lot of people, told, do as they please with you and you allow them. You need to create a space where it defines you as an individual. And you have to set up principles that you don't have to go beyond those principles, no matter the situation. If you don't do that in politics, believe me, you won't get anywhere because you get a lot of people haters, those that will come in form of men wanting to know to to profess love which they don't have. They profess all sorts of things so they can manipulate you. So you have to know, as a woman, you need to set, boundaries for yourself, what you want and what you don't want, and it and make sure you do not get involved with your political acquaintances and political colleagues. You don't get involved with them. The moment you try to get involved with them, then believe me, you are finished in the political arena. It is something that needs a woman to be principled. As long as you are not principled, DJ Wodi, vanokuita part. And
Yeah.
kana vakuita patika, you won't be able to stand up for what is right because ndo pavanobva vakukandira nude pictures hunhu hwarasika zvadhakwa handiti.
Yes.
So then you need to be as principled as possible. Ndo chete zvinongodiwa kana uri munhu wemukadzi ari mupolitics because it is something chinotonzi nevarume, it's our area. And it, so as it is, as it has been defined as a male arena, you just have to behave like men as well and be principled and men focused.
Mm, mm, mm. Thank you for that. So your position at the moment, where you are in the political circles, can you just share with us kuti Barrister Jojo ari papi at the moment, semunhu akambotangira kumashure uko doing what the father wanted and now you are making your own choices? Where are you right now?
Barrister Jojo right now is at the helm of New Zimbabwe Movement.
Mm.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I have heard about it, but I didn't know who exactly and what exactly has been going on. But the name I have heard about it 100%.
Yeah, a lot of people were unliking it to were like, you know, saying it's for Chamisa, this and that, but I am the brainchild of New Zimbabwe Movement. New Zimbabwe Movement, it is a movement that I created, and it is something that came from people around me as we were involved earlier on the Geza Revolution. So after we've realized that there were too many discrepancies that were in the Geza Revolution, we decided with um, some citizens that we need to create something that can, help us to campaign for the new Zimbabwe agenda. And how are we going to do that? We needed something like that's when we created that movement so that we are able to spread the word and spread the new Zimbabwe agenda to to all Zimbabweans in all the 10 provinces of Zimbabwe. And how were we going to do it without a name? So then we put that name to be New Zimbabwe Movement. So, as the New Zimbabwe Movement ambassadors, I stand in as the chief ambassador in chief. What it means is we are just but ambassadors, but we are not, in permanent positions, as we are going to unfold our strategies of the movement in phases. So as we are going to be unfolding the phases, we will get to a point whereby the citizens of the country are going to decide who is going to be the president, the leader, or whoever of the New Zimbabwe Movement, just as we are going to be unfolding the phases.
At the new part, like looking at your part, like the new political party that you have started, is it going to participate in the 2028 elections or not?
The biggest error that all political parties that has been formed in Zimbabwe, the biggest error that they did is to rush into becoming political parties. A political party is something that is ready to replace the current government. Therefore, when you are starting, you can't just, just as a child is born, a child can never be born with, can never be born and start walking the very day the child comes from the womb. It is a process. So then, what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say New Zimbabwe Movement as it stands, as it is at its infant stage, it has not graduated into a political party. It is just but a movement. And the movement's main goals is to spread the word of love, unity, and authenticity amongst the citizens. So it is up to the citizens now if they are going to be liking the way things are done by the movement. It is up to them to decide whether it is going to be a full-blown political party or it is going to remain at that stage. So it is not for me, Barrister Jojo, to decide whether New Zimbabwe Movement will end up being a political party or it is going to remain as a movement, because a movement is there to spread words and to achieve a certain political position. And the political position that the New Zimbabwe intend to achieve is to unite the citizens of the country first. It is after we are able to achieve the unity that we want as the citizen, then we can now talk about revolving, into a political party that then will be ready to replace the current government. But as it now, it will be over ambitious to say New Zimbabwe Movement is a political party, or we are, up to the task of replacing the, current government into something. That's the biggest error that all the political parties that have been formed in Zimbabwe. That has been the biggest error, that you just form a party, but you don't have what it takes to unseat the current government. So it takes unity and it takes love among citizens. It takes all much of depolarization. It takes the citizens, when they are united and feeds on, depolarization. And if we are to achieve that as the movement, then it is now up to the citizens themselves who would have achieved that goal to unite and make New Zimbabwe Movement a political party.
Right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much for that. I know we are not supposed to talk about any names or anything, but there is a comment here that I just want to address from Koma Sydney Chinyoka. He said, "Iwe nakulend ma kunyudzisa nyoka yemabhunu apana imimi." Guys, this conversation, it doesn't have anything to do with Comrade Nyokaema Bunu. We are talking about the new Zimbabwe and the strategies that people and we as Zimbabweans are looking up to. And then I have invited Comrade Barrister Jojo. We are not talking about Comrade Nyokaema Bunu. We had a space where we are talking about Comrade Nyokaema Bunu, and let me just be clear with you right now. For your own information, Point 5 Creative Studios, it's a media house. And Point 5 Studios is allowed to interview anyone. Whether you like the person, you don't like the person, we give opportunity and the platform to everyone. And let me be clear to you. Last week, I was with Comrade Nyokaema Bunu. We had an amazing conversation. And when it comes to nyaya ya Comrade Nyokaema Bunu, kuti taakutaura nezvaComrade Nyokaema Bunu, we will talk about Comrade Nyokaema Bunu. So don't mix nyaya. Today we are talking about the new Zimbabwe agenda. What needs to be done? And where are we as Zimbabweans and where are we going? And our guest right now is Comrade Barrister Jojo. So, guys, I would love and I would welcome any questions that has to do with the new Zimbabwe, and then we go forward. We are not talking about any names, but we are focusing on the agenda, the new Zimbabwe. Kana makuzoda information about Comrade Nyokaema Bunu Mkoma Sydney, you know my number. My number is always online, it's available, and then we can talk about it anytime. Sorry to our guests, I just thought that I should just address that so that the people, they know what we are talking about, and they should know also that Point 5 Creative Studios or Kulen TV, we are not political parties, we are not affiliated to any political parties, but we are media houses. We broadcast, we pass information, necessary information that needs to be passed to the people of Zimbabwe. So, comrade, I understand you are a very busy person, and we said we're going to keep this interview short and straight to the point. Moving forward, what's your plan?
You know what, DJ One. Let me, but before I respond to that, let me put my input on that question that you are trying to avoid. We we need to be citizens of the country before we become political enemies. And this is the reason why we as the citizens of the country sometimes see ourselves on the crossroads and failing to achieve what we want for our country as the citizens of the country. We write too much on politics and we write too much on propaganda that we know nothing about. You see that person that have said this and that, including Barrister Jojo, being involved in the fall of a certain individual. In this particular person, the person mentioned Nyoka Mapo, who is just but another citizen, same as me. So therefore, the moment you start thinking about that, you are far from getting into the road to a new Zimbabwe. Because the new Zimbabwe that we're talking about here is not gonna be a walk on a path. It's not gonna be as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's a mammoth task that is given to us, the citizens of Zimbabwe, to wake up from the slumber and to do what it takes for us to usher in the government that we are all going to be happy about. And we cannot do that when we concentrate on petty issues. I'm just, but like I told you, citizens just like Nyoka Mabumu. So how then can another citizen be involved in the fall of another citizen? If you are going to be logical about everything, that's where the issue of unity, peace, and authenticity comes in place. Not just you just take of things that you know nothing about, you have no evidence about, you haven't seen or you do not have any evidence of sort that Barrister Jojo did A, B, C, D, but you are just quick to judge and say, because maybe you've seen it somewhere, thrown, just being thrown around the social media here and there. But you yourself, you do not have faith. But you are, emotionally tied to something you know nothing about. That's where the issue of authenticity comes in place. And this is why, as New Zimbabwe Movement, we are driving, you know, under the three pillars of principles that are love, unity, and authenticity. Without these three pillars, we will never, we will never usher in the new Zimbabwe that we want. We can only be able, as citizens of the country, to decide what we want for our country if we go authentic and if we unite and if we love one another. And how do we do that when we just hate for no apparent reason?
Right. Thank you very
So
much
let me
for.
get back to your question. I
Yes.
don't know what you've asked.
No, what I asked, like the position that you are right now, Mapapi, any plans? What are you preparing in the Muripapi as moving forward?
All right. Right now, like I said, that the new Zimbabwe movement is going to unfold its strategies as like we've got four masterpiece of strategies that we are going to be unfolding. The first strategy is spreading the word of love, unity, and authenticity. That's where we are. So it is after this stage, when we get to stage two, we will then unfold it as and when we get there. We are not gonna preempt our strategy. As in the political field, there are too many copycats. As you can see that the moment we introduced the issue of New Zimbabwe Movement, we have had a lot of political, other politicians. They've now introduced. They also want to move from a political party to a movement. So because they are just copying us, so we are not gonna, preempt our strategy, but we are just going to be, you know, availing them as and when we get to that stage.
Thank you very much for answering that. So, in closing, I said I was just gonna keep this interview short, straight to the point, and then in closing, your last ways to the people of Zimbabwe before we get into your handles, if the people they want to get in touch with you, because there are people who are watching right now, maybe they are in line with what you are doing and they want to participate, they want to be part of your team, they want to be part of what you are doing. Where are they going to get you? So before we get into that, so I just want you to give us like your closing remarks to the people of Zimbabwe. Kuvana vezimbabwe mune mashoko ekuti chii?
So in closing, I will just say, as the citizens of Zimbabwe, we need right now each other like ever before. We
Mm,
need to unite like citizens that
mm,
loves their country. We need to be patriotic before we become political, party affiliates.
mm,
Because the moment you are not patriotic, and you are affiliated to a political party, it becomes a bigger problem when you become a political bulldog of that particular political party. So my message to my fellow Zimbabweans is to stop being used by political oligarchies. We've got too many political oligarchies that make money through the sufferings of the citizens of the country. But the problem that we have citizens that are, supporting and endorsing those kind of, oligarchies without knowing. They sell, illusions, and at the same time, they, you join them as if you are, like those people that throws, cars like, like beans, and you want to be part of them because you think you want a free car. But the crack of the matter, free things are even more expensive than those that you can work and afford and buy for yourselves. Was the moment you are going to be, gravitating towards free fibbles and free things, you are not, we are going to be used for the fact that you are getting those free fibbles, just like the ruling party themselves abuse the citizens of the country by giving them free fibbles, or in the name of the other time. I felt very sad, and I feel sorry for our fellow citizens that are in the rural areas. I was watching and I saw a women's league, a ZANU PF women's league, giving people uh, chicken, as in those, free, those day-old chicks. You are given a free, day-old chicks. There were about, if I'm not mistaken, there were about 10,000, which is about 10 boxes in a province of 250,000 women. How are they going to distribute the 10 boxes? And at the end of the day, they do not have even the fowl run to be putting those chicks. And at the same time, they do not have even the chicken fees to be able to afford to feed those chicks. And how are they going to survive? But they are subjected to that, free people thing. So as long as there's a word of free, people think free things are free. But they are not free, they are very expensive. So I'm saying now that it is rather better to stay away from people who try to give you free things, but yet they are not free. Let's remain who we are. We are suffering already. So we need to have a situation whereby we agree that in this suffering that we are, let's do everything within our powers to get a new government that can favor the citizens of the country, not a government that favors to impoverish its people so they can give you free fibbles. So we just have to agree as a citizens of the country that whoever is preaching the word of a new Zimbabwe agenda, we must support as the citizens. Because this is the time that we need to get ready for the next election. Because it is only in a ballot box that we are going to effect the change that we want. Apart from the propaganda that election has been rigged, this and that, all those things are just done and they are just there in the social media. So we can scare those that want to be voting. So in a nutshell, let's rise above propaganda. Let's love one another. And let's be authentic in everything that we do. And let's unite as the citizens of the country so that we are able to usher in the government that represents the citizens, starting from the grassroots right up to the top. So then, those who want to get in touch with me, if you go into your WhatsApp, there is a channel called New Zimbabwe Movement. it can be, you can search it through WhatsApp. We've got a TikTok page. It's a new Zimbabwe Movement TikTok page as well. And those who want to get directly in contact with me, I am on Twitter as well as Barrister Jojo 24. On TikTok, I've got two pages. The other one is Barrister Jojo 24 TV, and the other one is New Zimbabwe Movement. So in those TikTok pages, there are WhatsApp channels attached to them. So then you can get in touch with me on those WhatsApp channels. There are channel descriptions that illustrate which email you can use to get directly in touch with me.
Right. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate, and I wish you all the best in everything that you are doing. So it was nice to those who have been watching. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for following, and thank you for supporting Point Five Creative Studios. Around 6:30 or 7 o'clock, we are going to have General Stole. We have an exclusive interview with him. There's something big going on with him. And then at 8 o'clock, we are going to have a space with Comrade Whitehead. You are welcome to join in, and we are live streaming the space again. So, Comrade Barrister Jojo, I would like to thank you, and I really appreciate your time. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to hear from you again in the style space where you can share feel with a lot of people, and then we can engage with the people, and then so on what say.
No problem, Dr. DJ Woli. I'm at your disposal.
Okay, thank you very much once again, and thank you for supporting Point Five Creative Studios. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone who has been watching. Thank you for everyone who has been supporting Point Five Creative Studios. As for me, DJ Oli, and the rest of the crew behind the scenes, it's bye for now. Let's meet in the next video.